Welcome to Quality Sewing and Vacuum. This is So Fun Virtual Live. We have Iola and Gail here today, and we are so glad that you've joined us. If you're new to So Fun, we have 30 in-person classes and presentations in our stores where you can come and meet with other fun attendees for food, prizes, and some great education. It's so much fun to have them in person. So today, all of the notions and the things that Iola and Gail are going to be presenting are up on our website. And if you put in the code JULYSF, SF for So Fun, you can get 20% off all of the products and notions. But just make sure that you get on there before August 14th because that's when we take them down. So make sure that you get on there, get the things that you want while they're up. Also, we wanted to let you know that we are going to be giving away 2 prizes today. About halfway through, we're going to do prize number 1, and then at the very end, we're going to do another prize. So how do you get on?
You can like, share, or leave a comment.
Share, leave a comment, and we're going to be monitoring those. So if you have a comment or if you have a question, go ahead and put that in there, and then Iola and Gail will answer those for you. Okay, and we want to give a shout out to all of our Pasco customers. Hello, Pasco. They are watching live there too. So anyways, with that, I'm going to turn the time over to Iola and Gail. Thank you.
All right.
Take two.
Okay. So we have our rail line here today, and this is an embroidery design collection, and this is from Shelly Smola Designs, and this is for those that have an embroidery machine. It's multi-format. It comes actually on a USB stick, and you get all the files that you need to make all of the pieces that you see here, this wonderful rail line plus bonus stuff, right? I'm going to cover all of that. So with the rail line, we're going to start with the track, right? That's the most important part. We've got our little train cars here, and in order for those little train cars to land and travel in our little track, we need to have a little bit of dimension.
So we used something called puffy foam.
Yes, puffy foam. I have it right here. And actually, this is number 17 if you guys are following along on our little list. You can go print a list of all the products that we have today and follow along. So did you want to talk about puffy foam a little bit?
I can. Well, actually, you know it better. As far as the millimeters, it comes in
2 millimeter and 3 millimeter.
Perfect. And as you can, as hopefully you can see here, you basically put it down and you just stitch out the tracks, and then it just peels right up. And we'll be showing you some other stuff we did with the puffy foam, so you can see what it looks like when. But anyway,
so these little tracks are 3-dimensional, and that's going to help keep the wheels of our little train going on track and not derailing. So it's a great way to give yourself dimension. So also on the cover is another picture, right? And this is just one of the many, many, many designs that you can do with puffy foam. If you've seen those baseball caps with those thick, puffy logos on them, that's all puffy foam. So the needle perforation as you do these lines on the track are actually going to cut that puffy foam, and you just peel away what's left, and the rest of it stays inside. So after you decide how many little tracks you need, what shape you want it to be, she gives you lots and lots of options and layouts in there, so you don't have to create it all yourself. You're going to build these little modular squares, and then you're going to piece them together. Little strip of sashing here is going to allow you to piece those together. And then you can put one piece of fabric on the back. And another simple line of quilting is going to hold the whole thing together. The quilting in each block is all part of the embroidery design, so you don't have to do that on your own. You get water features, you get little railroad crossings, and then of course our 3-dimensional buildings.
Yeah, which are very cool. And for that, we ended up using the Craftex Plus because we really needed some stability. And Gail has in her hands an example of 2 different types of stabilizer and the difference in terms of how it holds up.
Yeah, so this is a less stable stabilizer, and it kind of makes your buildings sag just a little bit. So that Craftex Plus makes these units really, really stable. And to assemble them, you just use these tabs and buttonholes that go with them, and you button them together to make them three-dimensional. So here's some tabs with some buttonholes, and you can put the roof on, which means it can be stored flat.
Yep. And the other thing that's kind of cool with these tabs, I've done some other OESD designs that come and you put together, and it's always helpful if you have little alligator clips to pull through. But these, because they're bigger, aren't necessary, but they're just an added bonus. So.
Yeah. And this is just kind of a bonus thing. If you have a pair of these, they do help to put these together. If not, we've got them here on our website, and they are called an alligator clamp. So they open up at the very tip and let you reach through that buttonhole, grab that tab, and pull it back through. So not absolutely required on this particular project, but always helpful.
Always good to have.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you didn't see it before, this is the Craftex double-sided fusible. So that's up on the website for you.
All right. Now, we want these buildings to stay on our little...
Yeah.
So what do we got for that?
We have snaps. So we brought in 3 different colors. We have buildings that are red, we have other spots that are white, and we have black, like, I don't know, the signs that are holding up. So we basically brought them in the 3 colors. And I use them for lots of additional things when I'm making mini wallets. So they've got lots of uses, but they really are where you just can snap them together with your finger. But Gail's going to show you one of my favorite tools, because of course if you want to put the snaps on, what you need is to make a hole. And so we have this cute little hole punch tool that actually almost works like a drill, and it will make that hole for you. And one of my very favorite things, I used to use this with a block of wood that I'd go out to my shop and just grab to punch the hole with so that I didn't make holes in my cutting mat. But now OESD made my little heart go pitter-patter. They gave us a little mini mat. So this guy's just perfect for working and doing that with.
Yeah, and how many are in the package?
2.
2.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can use both sides. So
Yeah, so you get lots of mileage out of it, and great size for taking and doing.
yeah, have you ever lost a tip for your punch?
You know, I have, and I do know we do sell an extra packet of replacement nibs.
I think I have
tips.
some right over there.
Oh, there we do. And that's number 25. And I suppose if you make a number of these train tracks for family and friends for Christmas, you're going to end up punching a lot of holes. So you might even just need it for having given it some wear and tear. And like anything, a sharp blade is a good blade.
All right, so we have a close-up here. Now, this is my punch. Let's see.
Can you use the punch tool on leather? Yes.
Yes, and I'm going to do that in just a couple of minutes here. Great question. So this is the OESD punch, and inside the handle is where you store the extra tips. So if you do happen to lose them, you can get more. 3 different sizes. And we're going to put those finger snaps on our little pieces here to assemble our buildings, but you don't need tools for the finger snaps, right? You're going to use your fingers. So you don't need a hammer, you don't need a setting tool, but you do need a hole. So that's where the punch comes in. Now there is a little groove here down that shaft that twists, which means when I put pressure on this tool, it is going to twist the shaft. And that is going to drill down into whatever I'm cutting. So here is leather right here. And I just put this part in the palm of my hand and I push down like that. And I'm going to get a tiny little hole. I don't think you guys can see all these little holes, but here, there's my Swiss cheese leather. This is about 2 millimeters thick, really heavy cowhide leather. So that works great. Can you grab me an extra piece of fabric over there?
I would love to.
Table? Thank you. For the snaps, I'm going to use the little tiny size. Perfect. Thank you. So we got, actually, I think I got a piece. I'm going to use this blue one right here. Red snaps on a red piece of fabric are going to be difficult for the camera. Okay, so again, I've got my mat under here. You want to make sure you've got that. I'm just going to push down, and I'm going to drill a little teeny tiny hole. And I know you probably can't see that right now, but I'm going to put another one right there. So after I have a hole, and this will go through the thickness of the quilt, and I'm going to put the post for that snap right through that tiny little hole. The caps are the same for both business ends of this snap, but then the other side is, one on one side, one on the other. So you want to make sure you do them in sets. And I'm just going to pinch, and it's going to push that snap together. So that one is set. And I'm going to find that other little hole, put the cap in the back, and put this little guy on here. And push. So that one is installed as well. So very easy to do. They're very strong and sturdy. They stay on. You can use them for all sorts of different things, purses and kid stuff, and wonderful. But you don't have to have that hammer for the hole or the snap. Now, if you're going to assemble an entire quilt, a bazillion, right? They may start to, poke at your fingers just a little bit. So we have these polka dots. Nope, where's my little? There it is. Polka dots, and these are number 27 on your list. There's 24 in a package, and they're just a little rubber adhesive dot. And I would put one on my index finger, and I would put one on my thumb. And there I've got, wrong hand, right? I've got cushion for snapping those snaps, and I can go all day long then.
Yep.
So,
and they're amazing how sticky. I was about to say, I actually was doing some snaps, and then I took one off. I've put it on the back of my phone, and 3 weeks later it's still there, and I've pulled it off once or twice to do something and then put it back, and like I said, I'm still carrying it, so they're kind of cool, and you don't have to worry about a thimble that fits over your finger.
Fingernails,
they just fingernails are safe.
So, polka dots.
So.
All right. So I think, did we exhaust that stuff here? What else have we got to talk about?
Let's see. As far as that, I actually think it'd be kind of cool if we talked about our press.
Oh yeah.
So
absolutely.
How about we look at that? And
I wish you were here. You could try out my little press, my little punching, but go to your local store and check out one there. Okay, we're going to switch around.
Oh, actually, you know what, Gail? We didn't talk about some of the other supplementary things that we got.
Absolutely. We forgot.
So, I mean, this is kind of major because we've got this quilt up on the wall that's very, very cute with the alphabet. Same thing too when we were talking about other things you can do with the puffy foam. You can actually take each of these letters and make them puffy just to give it a little more dimensionality.
Absolutely.
And, the cars, I don't know how well you guys can see, but it's got some really fun bling on the top.
Absolutely.
So, you can be as creative as you want. Yeah, let's see, I'll make the bling shine by flipping it a little bit. But anyway, you could probably speak a little more to some of the other
just a reminder that all the quilting is part of the embroidery, so you don't have to go back and do that part yourself. It just makes them very easy to assemble. And you can do them all the same color in this little train, or you can do them all in different different colors like a scrapbook. So some of the layouts actually have the little trains as part of the track here, so you can put a name or something else on there. So I think we are going to talk about our press. So we did use the press for the crystals. Okay, so we're going to just go to my right over here.
And we'll talk about one of the coolest new products that we've got in the store. And actually, to be fair, many of you up north will have seen Lillian, and I'm subbing in for her. So a lot of these projects have actually come. And Lillian was so excited when she got a hold of the Memento press and brought it home. She put it on her dining room table, and her husband looked at it and said, you know, don't we eat there? And she said, not anymore. Basically, she said, we have TV trays. You like watching the Mariners. And when the Mariners are done, you'll be watching the Seahawks. And when they're done, we'll just move along and we'll be a happy family. And I'm keeping this and it's living on the table.
There you go. Although she did loan it to us here today.
That's true.
To use. This is the one she had. But this comes with a control panel. And I'm going to show you how it works. If you want to have more information too, we have a wonderful video that Reva's done on this press. So this is a Singer Memento Smart Press, and it's also called a clam press because it is going to close kind of like a clam. But we have a control panel that can live here on the machine while it's being stored, but you can also remove it and have it in front of you when you're using the press itself. So the first thing I'm going to do, it's kind of flashing because it's off. I'm going to touch that control panel and it's going to say, hello, I'm awake, and what temperature would you like to play with today? And right now we have 349. All I have to do is turn the dial to decide what temperature I want. And let's go for 357. After I've chosen that, I'm going to touch it again, and now I have flashing numbers for the seconds. And I'm going to keep it low, 11, 12 seconds, but you can go all the way up to, I didn't even hit the top, but a lot.
Yeah, several minutes.
Several minutes, but you know, we don't want to be here all day, so 12 seconds is going to do what I need to do. So after I've chosen my time, I hit it again, and it is going to start heating up. Now, it was on earlier, so it's at 165. And it cooled a little bit, but it'll heat up again. When I activate it, it is going to come down. It is going to wait that 12 seconds, and it's going to come back up again. I forgot to put the fabric in, so, you know.
We'll do a take two.
We'll do a take two. All right, so I just have a little piece of fabric here that I've sprayed with Best Press. And this press does close. It does, you know, the Best Press, or anytime you want to put any starch in there, go ahead and activate it again. It doesn't have to be full temperature for my starch, but it's still climbing. It's up to 202. It climbs very fast. I'm going to press a few things here today, but I just love the automatic feature, right? I don't have to physically pull it down and then wait around for it to go back up. I can actually leave the room, I can go start dinner, I can do whatever. It's going to go up, and it's going to let that item cool down a little bit, because sometimes, you know, you don't want to handle those items that are super, super hot. So while it climbs in temperature, I've got a nice, stable piece of cotton there that I'm going to use for a project here in a minute. And let me talk about Steam-A-Seam for just a second. So Steam-A-Seam is one of the products that we brought in today, and we'll scare up a package here in a second. Yeah. But I have a piece of Steam-A-Seam. Steam-A-Seam is paperback fusible web that is in between two pieces of fabric.
And actually, I can just bring it over to put where the camera can see it.
Steam-A-Seam. Okay, it's actually in between two layers of paper, not fabric. Thank you. And this is a heat-activated adhesive, which they have also sprayed with a tacky glue. So it's going to stick. Now, the first thing I do when I'm going to start a new sheet is just peel one corner and see which side the glue is going to stick to, because it can change from sheet to sheet and day to day. I don't know why, but it does.
Yep.
So why fight it?
Usually, one side has a yellow grid, and typically that's the one that keeps the sticky to it, and so it's the other side that if I'm going to do some drawing or doodling for my shape.
Yeah. So I want to draw on the side that is going to have the glue that sticks to it, right? So I can use a pencil or a pen. Just don't use one of those heat erasing pens, because, you know, we're going to press it, right? And then I'm going to carefully place my steam-a-seam on my fabric. You like my little placement job there?
It's just amazing.
All right. Quite often I'm in a hurry, or I have a piece that's too big, so just in case, the heat from the iron is all coming from up here. And this is my ironing board, basically. It's rubber. And I want to protect both of them. So I'm going to use an applique pressing sheet. I'm going to put that piece of steam-a-seam right there. And I'm going to sandwich it in between there. And we're going to push that button again, right? Really, really easy, and it's going to come down all by itself. You want to talk about that pressing sheet?
Sure. Well, so one of the things that's very cool, as far as actually here, I'll put it under the camera here. It's number 15, but the pressing sheet is absolutely fabulous. I use it in so many different places. When you've got something like the steam seam, and as you saw, Gail had it off the edge, you can just open it up once it's cooled, and after you pick up your fabric, you then can I actually have a little plastic scraper, and I just scrape up that excess glue.
Yeah.
And
you want to share?
That takes care of it.
You want to share
and there's a very cute story for the other consultant who isn't here. So they were so excited, and I've done this too, where I know I have my applique pressing sheet, but I don't know where it is, and so I get going fast and put my steam-a-seam on, and sure enough, I put it on wrong. This happened to somebody else, but anyway, given that the enthusiasm of having a new toy, so literally it's upside down, so all the glue went on the pad and the metal. So, of course, this is the demo model that's going around. It's not Lillian's personal one that now lives on her dining room table. And so you kind of do that, ooh, bad news feeling, but I had no idea how excited I would be that we have DK5, which Gail says she's been using for years. But I have to tell you, after the story, I was compelled to own some. And I can't believe how many places I've already used it to just clean up little gunky spots that come, from different things or projects, and my sewing machine is now all cleaned off from little spots, because you do when you're sewing applique and doing stuff, there's always little remnants that get stuck. So anyway, this glue remover is amazing.
Yeah, so it's adhesive remover, DK5. We have a spray on glue, and that's I call it the glue off. You have glue on and glue off today.
Yeah, so and that's the number 23.
Yeah,
And
we'll put that on a ruler here in a bit. But so the glue off can actually remove it from the iron, cool down, of course. It takes the glue off of those embroidery hoops.
Yep. And
you've got all that spray stuff.
And actually, it takes it off of fabric. So actually, in addition to having gotten it on the machine, and you'll notice we're using the machine, we haven't told anybody that we glued all over it.
Keep a secret for us.
So yeah. So we all want to stay employed. But we also ended up with glue on the fabric. And that was something I had not thought of is, oh my God, what happens if it's actually on the bird or on these flowers? And that did indeed happen. And so just spraying some of it and just taking a damp cloth, damp with the remover, and just rubbing up came right off, and if you look at this up close, you can't tell which one it was that had glue residue.
That's
it
amazing.
didn't do anything to the fabric, didn't change colors like anything. Always manufacturers say, make a small test somewhere, but proof is in the pudding as far as these are pristine and beautiful, and so
Normally
very,
it would be,
cool.
Start over.
Yeah.
We've also, I'm going to finish up with this piece of stainless seam. We both have a habit of just going on to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing, right? We'll circle back. Okay, so I do have my stainless seam on my piece of fabric now, and I'm going to cut out my fancy little diamond shape here. And I think I'm going to throw that on that blue, excuse me, I'm just going to reach and throw that on my blue piece of fabric.
So, and the nice part of stainless seam while Gail's grabbing that, is like she was talking about, that little bit of tackiness. So when you're doing applique, you can put it down on the piece of fabric and it will stick. So you can pick it up and move, but you can pick it up and you can move it around.
Yeah.
So
it's going to stay to the fabric till I get to the iron.
yeah, and then
And
it becomes permanent.
if
And
I
when
don't
it's
like-
permanent, it's permanent.
If I don't like where it lives, I can put it someplace else. So we'll put those on there. And again, so I guess the moral to our previous story was preventative, right? You want one of those pressing sheets. But if you happen to get that glue where you don't want it, then you can take it off with the iron. So this is going to make that permanent, like Iola said. And then I'm going to do one more little press job here. Actually, two. But one at a time. This is, ouch, hot. Yes. Amazing, huh?
Ha ha!
Yeah, so 357 is working good. Yeah, so there is my permanent thing here. And now I have SF101, which is a fusible interfacing. That's going to take my cotton piece that, has some, I don't know, it might get wrinkled if I'm going to embroider over the top of it. And I'm going to back that with this fusible interfacing. SF101 I use for so many different things. I just love that little push the button and have it automatically come down, right? It is
Well, and I have to admit, and you maybe are the same way, but I do get doing multiple things, and to me, it is a gift to not have to watch that clock.
Exactly. I am
know.
going to let it cool down for just a second this time, and I'll show you what it does. In the meantime, I'm going to wander right back over here, and I'm just going to roll. And we're going to cut out a coaster.
Should we do a prize?
I think we should.
You're cutting that out?
I think we should.
Okay, it's time for some prizes today. You guys have done such an amazing job. It's been so fun. Okay, this is from YouTube. This is a little quilt as you go set of 2 project bags. So it's a super fun with pink zippers in it, zippity-doo-done zippers. This is for Sandy Sullivan. Sandy Sullivan, if you're on, please make sure that you send me an email at andrea@qualitysewing.com. If you are local, let us know what store you are at, or if you're not local, shoot me your address and I'll send this out to you in the mail. Okay, thanks Sandy for tuning in today.
Yeah, congratulations. All right, so I'm going to make this little coaster, and you can go onto our website and print out that list of items, and on the back we have some tips usually and tricks, and one of them is how to make this fun little coaster. So on the sample I made, I did cork on the bottom, but today I'm just going to use a piece of fabric. So this is going to require oh yeah, I forgot what we're using here. It's going to require 5 pieces of fabric, and we're featuring our rotary cutting circles template set here. This is number 19, and I am going to start with size 4.5. So this is a set of 5 templates from 2.5, 3.5, 4.5, 5.5, and 6.5-inch circles, so that you can use them for many different things in your sewing room. You know,
They're much more accurate than your mason jar.
yes, or your salad bowl.
Or your salad bowl, or yeah, the variety of things that we do take to make circles or arcs on the edges of our quilts or whatever project, and they're made of acrylic, so you know they're really sturdy.
They are,
and they last. And
they have a crosshair. It's going to be almost impossible to see on the camera, but there's a crosshair measurement on the inside of these templates that you can use for lining up stuff. Yeah, I don't think we're catching it, but maybe. And then they are made with Creative Grids, has a little ridge on the back side. Great for cutting, but a little bit of grip is good. A little bit more grip is even better. So I did add the grippy non-slip coating to this. That's why it looks a little cloudy. But I just take this outside, spray it on the back of my ruler, and it just lives there all the time. And it allowed me to use them as quilting templates too. So, but right now I'm going to use the 4.5 with a stack of charm pack pieces, which are 5-inch squares, and there are 5 of them here. I've got my back. I've got 2 that kind of look the same, and then I've got 2 more that look the same. So I'm going to make my little quadrants here. Stack all 5 of them up, and my ruler doesn't shift, so I can just use my rotary cutter and go all the way around. Now if I had a rotary cutting mat, that would work too, you know, one of those spinning ones, but it doesn't shift on the fabric, so I'm usually pretty good. It's a little harder to cut sitting down, but
yeah.
yeah, we're almost through there.
But this is a very cool, very quick project, and like Gail was saying, on our sheets, it was the tip/instructions for doing this if you want to do it at home.
Yep. All right, so there's my 5 circles. Why didn't I do this ahead of time, right?
Yeah, you know.
All right, live TV. Okay, so now I have 5. So that first one was the one I added best press to, and I'm just going to set that aside, and actually I'm going to have it, yeah, right side up. These 4 I am going to press into half circles, like little tacos. So I'm going to give it just a quick finger press so that when I put it in the big press over there, it doesn't shift. And I'm going to get exact edge to edge. Really doesn't matter if I'm cross grain or straight of grain. I'm just going to fold them all in half, wrong sides together, so that my pretty fabric shows on the outside. And this will be my last item that I'm going to press over here. So I'm just going to stash these, and we'll come right back to those. Push the button. But I do have that fabric that is now cooled down, and that is that SF101 that I've put on the back of my fabric. So if you remember before, it was real kind of crumbly, and now it's very stable. So I can use this for the linings of purses. I can use it for embroidery. I put it on the back on anytime I'm going to do a dense embroidery. It's going to help those wrinkles. And I also put it on the back of t-shirt knit and stuff if I'm going to make it into a quilt or a project or a pillow.
Yeah, so things don't stretch or whatever. And
yeah,
and I love one of the sayings that somebody told me, if you can fuse it, use it.
Well, there you go.
So when it comes to things like embroidery, I just kind of keep that in the back of my mind, and
yeah,
you know, I use the SF101 all the time.
Sounds good. Okay, I'll grab these and we'll build our little coaster. So I've got the back, and that is face up. I've got the 4 pieces that are fabric, pretty fabric showing, and I'm going to start in one quadrant. I'm going to shift to another color. I'll go to the left on this one, lay this one over the top, kind of like folding a cardboard box back together, you know, tuck one of them in, and here you go. So I've got all 4 of them coming together, and all I have to do is sew all the way around the outside edge of this, 1/4 inch seam allowance or so. And I don't have to worry about leaving an opening because I have an opening already. So I'm not sure if you can see me sew, but
This goes super quick.
yeah. So I'm just going to go, like I said, all the way around the outside edge. And I did fold these down counterclockwise on purpose because when I sew this way, I'm going off the edges of those folds, so I don't have them, coming back on me. So here's the point where I would clip or use pinking shears to trim that edge, and then I'm just going to lift one of these corners and get in there and turn it all inside out. So that is my turning spot. And tuck those corners out.
And since Gail has been making these at every store, the party's at her house.
Yeah, there we go. I'm going to have a bunch. Okay, and they're all different, and that's the whole point, right? And then I can press it one more time, but I'll leave our press off to itself here. To mount this onto a wine glass, I'm just going to stick that in there and kind of go around the corner until it sits there. And so that can follow the glass around the party, and since they're all different, everybody can identify which one belongs to them. So, very
Pretty
fun.
amazing.
Yeah. We talked about a little bit about our whale and our cardinal over here, but we didn't really show you what they are here. We have them here today. I will give those to you, and you can put them in our little special spot.
I was about to say, and I can...
Yeah. So the Cardinal is called Always With You, and that is both of these are raw edge applique. The Orca whales are called Orcas, and we have them up on the board, but they are built by cutting out a whole ton of little pieces. No, not so many. You're going to use that steam-a-seam. You are going to use your applique pressing sheet, and after you cut the pieces out, you're going to assemble them. She does give you, Toni Whitney, the artist, gives you a layout guide to put the whole thing back together. I tend to use this with a light board underneath, so it shines through. Not absolutely required, but with a light board, you can actually see through black fabric and see the lines. It is amazing what a light board can do for you. So we have wafer lights and other brand lights on our website, but I put that down. I put down my layout guide. I put down my applique pressing sheet. I can see right through the applique pressing sheet to have all those lines, and I just build it like paint by number. Yep. With fabric. All the pieces are cut out, and I'm going to glue right onto that applique pressing sheet and create my units. So,
and when you did it, did you use a ScanNCut?
I did, yes. So not everyone has a ScanNCut. You can trace your pattern pieces onto steam-a-seam. You can scan them into the ScanNCut and cut them out. This is a different pattern, but I also did a little test where I took another one of her patterns and put it in the copy machine. And I put the sheets of steam-a-seam into the copy machine and just printed them or copied them right onto that. So I didn't have to trace them.
And what kind of printer did you use?
Oh yes, don't forget an inkjet printer.
This is critical.
Very, very critical. Inkjet printer. Do not put it in a laser printer. I don't want any nasty letters.
Yeah.
So.
And the reason being is a laser printer uses heat with the toner to make it adhere to the sheet.
Yeah, we don't want to glue the machine.
And so when we've got glue and stuff, I don't think we can get enough DK5 to clean out your printer.
Your laser printer,
so,
probably not.
You know, we really don't think that's cool. But
yeah.
no, it is amazing what you can do with your inkjet. So,
Absolutely. So the first night, they were just a little smudgy. This paper is kind of slick, but when I left it overnight, the next day it was fine. Yeah,
Very
so
cool.
plan ahead. She also gives you a little color chart. If you want it to look like hers on the package, then you're going to follow her color chart. I went a little bit bluer. It actually is purple, which, you know, you don't think about. But anyway, I went blue.
yeah, and that is really the fun of being able to choose, you know, whatever fabrics, and then, you know, same with your quilting
Absolutely.
that goes and,
So Lily's second Cardinal, the one that's a little bit lower, is larger. She just took her pattern and blew it up and made it a little bit bigger. So we're done with the press, so I'm going to just push that control panel until it starts blinking, and we'll let it cool down a bit. And when we come, you know, all the way around to the end, I will show you how to close it up for storage. All right. What's next?
I think we should talk about your memory quilt.
Sounds good to
and
me.
The book that inspired it.
Absolutely. You know, I don't think I need my machine anymore either, so I'm just going to wander my way back to the other side of the table.
Okay, so this was number 1 on the list, and the book is called Quilt Your Story, and Gail's actually earmarked a couple of pages, and we'll actually be able to show you some samples, but like this would be, you know, in memory of the fire department and different things, but, you know, we all within our family have lots of memories and
Sure.
different things to grab. This was one that I'll actually turn over to Gail to talk about, because
Well, we're going to kind of start
actually-
in the back and go backwards because that's what's showing.
that's right. Good point.
Yeah, yeah. So this is my t-shirt quilt, or it's called a cairn, C-A-I-R-N, for all of the rocks over here. A cairn is a stack of rocks. And I did this one out of t-shirts. You can do stuff in the book out of fatigue or scrubs, t-shirts, button-up shirts. They even had silk ties. So anything that you'd like. I had a couple of t-shirts that were from a quilt retreat, so I used those. They kind of had a Native American feel. So I added a couple pieces of fabric that got on a cruise to Alaska. So each of these items, when you look at them, you know, has meaning. And I did put them on t-shirt knit, and because it's a t-shirt knit, everything in here was backed with that SF101. It makes it very, very stable. That is replacing my batting. I didn't have any batting in here. And I put a little fleece throw that I picked up at the thrift store on the back. When I first bought this, I thought that would make a nice hooded sweatshirt. But hey, now it's a blanket. So.
And it feels great.
Yeah, it does. It's real soft. And then I just self-bound it and added the buttons for the quilting. So that's gonna kind of tying, actually, holding it all together. But all the buttons were put on with the sewing machine. So it's amazing how fast you can put something like this together. So that is my button blanket. You want to grab that? All right, and then some of the other items in the book. This was that table runner that you saw briefly at the beginning of the book. And this one is just some scraps of fabric that I had. You can use an item that's already created and deconstruct it, and they talk about all of that in there. But as sewers, you know, we have scraps, right? They're already in pristine condition, and maybe that item that you have is, you remember what it is from the fabrics that you're using, but the item itself is long gone, so. Don't overlook your scraps as well. So this is a fun little table runner. And the quilting for this table runner was done with my set of circular ruler templates. So the 2.5, 3.5, 4.5, 5.5, and 6.5, I just scattered them around and stitched around them with free motion.
Nice.
So, you know, just like the ruler work and a ruler work foot. So I used them for that as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, just chatting a little bit about Lillian's, she actually when she goes to seminars and different things, she always loves to try new things, and she had a number of different things up on a wall that were just independent. And so when she looked at some of the different ideas in the book, she decided that for her it would be really cool to take these different things and integrate them into one really cool hanging unit, so that it's not only a great memory of all the things she learned, but it's also a resource in her sewing room that she can look up. But you know, here's the flower with the cool buttons, and you know, just different things from, you know, different projects. So
yeah, there's some
it's
folded
pretty
flowers, there's some lace in here, there's some weaving, and it is just amazing. A lot of quilting designs, some prairie points. I'm just sorry that we can't see all of the detail. That would be pretty good.
Yep.
But all in a cohesive color. She's also got some embroidery up here that says growth and learning new ideas. But like I said before, it's also a resource for, you know, maybe that future project. And she can go back to this and say, oh, I really, really liked that quilting. I think it'll be perfect in what I'm working in right now, or working on. So,
Yeah.
All right.
So is it time
It's
for
time. We got our...
my little buddy? I will turn him over to you.
All right.
Since you made him.
This is the little froggy monster. And so this is, well, it was a pair of jeans and a t-shirt. And now he's still a little backpack. So Froggy Monster has straps, or you can do him as a pillow. He's got legs, and if you leave off the straps, you can put wings on there. But the pocket from the jeans, and oh, there's a place to stash stuff, right? And also, because it's a backpack, his mouth opens up like that, and you can put stuff inside there too. So,
Yes,
more snacks.
and yes, I was about to say, as he did the tour of the stores,
Yeah.
he went ahead and ate some of your snacks. So
where they
they are
came
now on tour with them.
Yes, and I did use a little bit bigger zipper to imitate teeth, so it's kind of fun there. So,
Very fun.
yeah. All right, you can put him back on his chair over there. All right, just a great resource for making something that you know, you can have memories with. All right, I know we've got more to talk about. We want to do our outfits, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So part of this gig for me is that Gail went ahead and made me this outfit.
I did.
She didn't know that she was doing that, but these are my colors, so I will be taking these home after Pasco.
Yeah.
Which she will be there live. So.
No, we're not doing Pasco
Oh no,
this
I'm
month.
not doing Pasco this month?
Nope.
Oh, sorry, Pasco. But anyway, actually, I have to say, Lillian also made me this outfit, which
Does she
is
know this
pretty
yet?
spectacular, and she doesn't know that yet, but we won't tell her.
Okay. So, do you have our pattern over there, maybe?
I do. Forgive me.
Oh, here we go. All right, so this is the Great Lines top and pants. This is number 4 on your list, and it has 2 different styles for the top, and it has one basic style for the pants, but they do have some little detail options down here. You can put your little stripes going the other way, or you can put in a different fabric. So we've got kind of a little bit of each. This would be the scoop neck with the pants all the same color. One of the nice features about this pair of pants that I like is they have a side, front, and a front, which means when you insert the pocket in that seam, it's living towards the front of your body a little bit more and not right here on the edge of your hips. So I like that pocket placement. And then here's that option for the different color down here at the bottom, and that matches the shirt
The top.
back here. So Lily bought her fabrics at Pacific Fabrics. She's got a nice linen here and a shirting, and you knew
This is called Space Dye, and you'll actually see it next month in some of the So Fun projects. But it comes in, Pacific Fabric has it in the whole rainbow of colors.
Nice.
And it's just a really fun, slightly more expensive fabric because it's really truly woven as far as the colors. But it feels great. I mean, you just want to touch it.
Yeah.
And it was a hard choice on which to wear. It was which one I could get out of the building fast enough with.
Okay, so the pattern itself is a multi-size pattern. So it comes a 6 to 24, and all of those sizes are in the same envelope. And then we also have what they call a stand-up collar offer or option, and that is the one I'm wearing here. Although if you make it out of a knit, might not stand up quite so much, but I like the cowl neck there. Okay, don't want to mess with the microphone too much. So this is a little bit longer sleeve length, and I did the longer body style on both of them. So one of the things that's worth noting is, if you want to hold that one up over there, the fabric goes from that edge to that edge. So there are no seams in here. That means you have a front, you have a back, and you have a facing. And that is it. They are very easy to put together. Lily's put some slits in the side of hers. Beautiful serger detail. You can either use a sewing machine or a serger cover stitch, whatever you've got. But they do go together very, very quickly no matter what you're doing. So works with wovens, works with knits.
And didn't you say there was something about the pants that's worth mentioning?
I did. So, you know, I haven't done pants for a very, very long time. We've been doing jackets and shirts, and I kind of forgot when I'm making pants that you not only have to measure your waist and your hips, but you need to measure your length. So I didn't kind of pay attention to that, and when I finished the pants, the ones that Iola is wearing, and I tried them on, they hit me about 6 inches too short for me. So you can either wear them shorter, or you can just make sure that you have them.
Or that you have another friend that, you know, they fit perfectly on, who says, you can keep these.
Yes. So Iola's going to take those home. So yeah, when I make myself a pair, then I'll add about 6 inches. But, you know, you can make capris. They're a wide leg pant. They're a very nice, I stashed them over here.
Yeah.
They're a very nice pattern.
So it is nice.
And very comfortable to wear. Just make sure that they're going to be the length that you want them to be, whatever that length might be.
Yeah.
All right, I think we are down to our purse.
I think we are too. So let me just wheel this over to you.
Yes. Does the rail line have any crossings to split rail and road? I'd love a combo mat. They actually have created another design collection that is a racetrack, and they have one that is an airport. So they are intermixable. You just, in this particular collection, you're getting everything train. But they do have some layouts in some of their pictures that have, you know, the racetrack and the train all together. It's very, very interesting. So, all modular.
Yeah, very,
Great
very cool.
question. Yeah. Okay, so
Our next thing was something that's one of my favorites. I've actually done a number of the Buy Annie bags, and this is, I forgot the piece with the number, but anyway, it's a wonderful wallet purse, and like all things by Annie, one of the cool things is when you get the pattern, you'll see on the front here, it says it includes a coupon for the add-on videos. So many times some of the stores are teaching classes that do payday, but yeah, on the back you've got the coupon, and it just has about 3 videos that just show you some of the different techniques. The other thing that I think is super cool about this, when I made it, is that it's quicker because you actually don't have any quilting and you don't have any binding, which is rather unique for an Annie pattern.
It is. So it goes together very, very nice. There's 2 sizes in the pattern. So we have a little bit larger size and we have a smaller size. Let me just grab these right here. So that is the smaller size. And here we've got the little bit larger size behind it. And we have a lot of stuff to talk about to go with this particular item. But we did bring in some canvas. And this bag has a pocket in the back. It has a huge pocket right here. In the body, it has a pocket in between the big body and the smaller section. There's a zipper pocket and another zipper pocket. So there's pockets everywhere, right? And not any binding at all.
Yeah.
So you've got options. I did go ahead and use canvas. I would probably change it just slightly if I were doing it in the future, just to, by the time I ended up with this last step, which sews all of this to the back, I ended up with 5 layers of canvas in here, and it was just a little bit more than my machine wanted to handle. So I would probably make the inside of my canvas pockets a different fabric, a lighter weight cotton. But other than that, it just went together beautifully. I've got grunge in here. I've got the Annie's foam. So let's talk about some of the details here.
I'll also, just really quickly, you can show off the cool canvases that we brought in.
Yeah, so we have 3 options. We have our hummingbird canvas, and these pieces come 18 by 54. And this is a coated water-resistant canvas that you can use in just about anything, tote bags and purses. And we have the little dogs that are on tarot cards, and they're just really cute. If you're a dog person, or even not, there's a Rottweiler and a Jack Russell Terrier and just a bunch of little dogs, and they're little Cocker Spaniels.
Golden Retriever.
Yep. And then we have the sewing theme. So that's what I did my purse out of. Got sewing machines, sewing baskets, and thread and tape measures and all that kind of stuff.
And we have purple, which makes me very happy.
Yes, yes, yes. Actually, that color, that's weird. That I didn't notice. Dye lot must be different.
Yeah.
All right. And then when you fasten your bag, it has magnets inside here. So we have the Annie's magnets. Did they fall out back here?
No. Oh, here they are.
On the floor.
Number 10.
There's the canvas. Canvas was number 8. I took it out of the package because the packages was really hard to see. By Annie's magnets. These are the sew-in style of magnets. So there are 2 sets in a box, and you need the 2 sets to make the purse. So they don't show, but they hide down inside that fabric, and they're very, very strong. We have the hardware, which comes in gold and copper, and these are kind of a brushed gold and copper. Right? These are from a company called So Is the Canvas, and this is what it looks like on the purse. So we've got the clips, we've got the D-rings, and we've got a slider. So it's really not out of the ordinary. So this kit doesn't have to make this bag, it would make bags that have a strap.
Yeah.
We have this is 3 yards of black webbing, 1 inch. Anytime you're going to make a strap out of regular fabric, you need something inside that fabric to make it sturdy. So that's where you can just cover some black webbing. And this is a 3-yard chunk. They have you do a real strap, so you can do crossbody, or you can wear it over your shoulder, around your waist. There's so many options. And then, of course, by Annie's, we have the basting tape. And this is number 18. It's a very, very thin, very sticky, permanent little, you have to get out an iron, you just...
Zippers. That's where I use it most of the time.
Yeah. And then we have our jump and sew, also from them. And I'm going to let you talk about that for just a moment.
Yeah, so one of the names that I think many people have heard before is hump jumper, but this jump and sew, as much as anything, I have to confess, for any time that I'm doing a seam that's thicker, and actually we'll just use this bag as a pretend for
stuff is on the machine too.
Oh, there we go.
Chunk of jeans
So
there.
yeah, so what's really kind of handy is if you're sewing, to be able to get your foot to be level. So basically this insert here, you can do it, insert it from behind the needle. Actually, I could even come over, and if we look at the sewing machine for a quick minute, I can just put it right there and the needle goes in that gap between the two. But rather than the foot looking like it's a water skier tipped up, which then can lead to some uneven stitches and such, this, when I put the foot down, it stays nice and level and keeps those stitches consistent, and just makes the effort going over something thick like these 6 or 9 layers of jean material, allows them to stay easy and less work, I think, for the motor on the machine, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely.
But I have to confess, I think the most compelling feature for me on this, I had to have one, is its color. It is a sparkly, beautiful turquoise, and it just makes me happy.
It's got sparkles, yeah.
So it does, and so it's kind of cool. And that actually is a 1/4 inch there, so I've actually kind of used it for measuring, but I think it's just a ton of fun to have, and it's one of my newer acquisitions as of this month. So
Wonderful.
that's kind of that.
All right. I've got a ruler and a real quick finish here.
Gail, before you move on, somebody had a question about your pants.
Okay.
They wanted to know, right there, will you show us how the pants fit at the waist?
Sure.
She's wearing the pants.
So they're just gathered. Now Gail did a drawstring.
That was the only elastic I had at midnight.
So, yeah, and so anyway, so for me, I'm getting to do show and tell. Nobody say anything. But anyway, it's got plenty of looseness here, and then, I mean, just super comfortable.
Yeah.
And then Lily on her pants
on the back side of that.
did it with,
They're on the back side of that right there.
there we go. All the different things we brought in, but she just did a beautiful job with the elastic, and it just gathers and then blouses out, and super comfortable.
Yeah.
As I said, I tried both on to make sure they fit me. So
she could, take them out the back door.
yeah. So
All right. I think, we might need to remove this real briefly here. Keep the train and just
you got the
move
other
this.
side, Andrea?
Yeah.
Perfect.
And I can have the table for this last item. So we have,
Last two.
last 2 items. We have the bias ruler. So this is going to be for cutting bias binding, right? It is a folding ruler, which means, I thought blue would show up better, but with a gray table it might not. Oh, here we go. All right, so this is my folding ruler, and this is for cutting bias. Now, if I am going to do, a straight quilt, then I'll probably just cut my fabric on the cross grain. So here is a piece of fabric, and this is a 1/2 yard, which is what this ruler is designed to use. So I've got a ½ yard by 42 inches. This, as I stretch it across, is the cross grain. It's got a little bit of stretch. This one has more than most. The lengthwise grain is here. It has no stretch at all. But if I go from corner to corner, that's your bias. And it's going to have a lot of stretch. So this ruler is designed to open this up and cut this flat. Now, does anybody, Iola, you want to venture a guess of what happens if you don't fold it out flat?
You don't get nice even cuts of
Right?
2.5.
You get, actually, a corner.
Oh yeah, and that too.
You get a tint or a chevron. Now, you might want that at some point, but not right now. So with a ½ yard of fabric, we are going to go from edge up here to edge down there, and that is going to be our 45 degrees. I am going to make my first cut. And then every cut after that, and this, the first cut is always backwards, right? So I can just shift the whole thing around here. And then if I wanted 2.5 inch, I would just go to the edge of that ruler and cut my next strip, and then my next strip, and my next strip, and my next strip. I can always pick up that piece that I cut off, and I can go back and slice that one as well.
Yep.
So 1.5, 2.5, any measurement you want. You've got all of these little lines here to follow, but they're all going to end up on that bias. So when you're finished, just fold it up and put it away.
And that's the part I really like, because actually being summer, I'm actually going camping this weekend, and so I have loaded up my fold-up mat and fold-up rulers and so on, so that I can do stuff on the road.
Nice. It's always nice to be able to do your hobby wherever you go. All right, now this is the cut safe, and the cut safe is number 20. And this is a guard for the ruler. So it is a little L-shaped piece of plastic, and it has tape on it. And I'm going to mount this to this Quilter Select ruler. So when I first attached one of these to the ruler, I'm going to share my don't do this, right? I'm going to have one shot to stick this on and make it stay. So the first thing I did was stick it to the very edge of the ruler. And I'm not sure, maybe an overview might work for this one, but I had it right there on the edge. The first time I went to use it, I took out my rotary cutter and I tried to cut, and I couldn't, because I couldn't get the blade right up next to the edge of the ruler, because I had this plastic wall in the way, right? And this particular rotary cutter, which is amazing, has quite a bit of stuff over here on this left side of the blade. So when I mounted it about ½ inch in, then I had plenty of headspace for that plastic piece, and I could get my blade right up next to the edge of my ruler. So that's what you want to do. Now this is both a finger guard and a handle. So I just take off that little piece of tape right there, and we always want to be safe, right? So I'm just going to mount that at the ½ inch mark. And if I need to pick up the ruler, I have something to grab onto, but I also have a place to keep my fingers behind that plastic wall, and I'm not going to have them cut. So if you're not going to mount it to a 24-inch ruler, this particular piece of plastic is just a hair over 22, you can take a saw and you can cut it into smaller pieces, and you can put it on multiple rulers. So any size ruler that you have works just great. All right.
So, just a couple of last things that we didn't show you with the payday up close were, and with the canvas, But this was one of the bags that Lillian did that was just really fun with the Tula Pink dragonflies, but you know, just super cute as far as that goes, and you know, again, nice hardware.
I think
and
it
just
might go with your outfit.
well, Lillian's going to be very unhappy, as are you.
And then this is one more item that she did make. This is a little bag, right? She had her collection of rulers, and that 2.5 does make the corners on the payday bag. It calls for 2.5 inch
Let's see if I can just even
corners.
show you how it
Yeah.
fits right in there to make that corner.
Yep. Like I said, the 4.5 I did my coasters. All of them I did with the quilting. And then Lily made this fun little bag. And this is a cut down version of one of the free patterns on the By Any website. And she made this to hold all of her circle templates. So they have a home. So she's got vinyl in here. She can see what's in there. And then she has used her hummingbird canvas for that, so very, very cute. Andrea, I see you over there. What have you got for us?
Are you all done?
I think we are.
Oh my goodness. Ladies, well, I had so much fun today. I know I'm going to be bringing a bunch of things home with me after today. This is so much fun. So educational. I hope you guys had a fun time too. We have our last prize for the day. Are you ready? This is from Facebook, and I think this is a new name for us. This is Margie Burlett from La Center, Washington.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so if you have a store that you like to go to, let us know. Shoot me an email at andrea@qualitysewing.com. And this is the Go Bold 3-yard quilts. You won this book. Let's see. There we go. How fun. We love these books. They are just so, so great. So if you have a store that's local to you, let us know what your favorite store is. Or if you are just joining us online, shoot me your address and I'll send this to you. Well, ladies, I think we had a great time today.
We did.
Don't forget to add in, when you go to check out, get your notions, put in the code. It's July SF. So you can get your 20% off. And remember, those will only be up on the website until August 14th. Thank you for joining us today, and we will see you next month.
Yeah.